I will watch any film that Jodie Sweetin is in, so I was definitely very drawn to My Perfect Romance. And film itself was pretty great. Now, I have to say, Jodie Sweetin is not our romantic lead. She's a supporting character. She plays a character called Michelle. She's actually the sister of our protagonist, Vivian, who is played by Kimberly-Sue Murray. And this focuses on a new dating service that uses algorithms to find you your perfect romantic match. And in order to prove its efficacy, the CEO Wes and the developer Vivian are tasked with signing up to it to prove that it will help them to find their perfect match. That in itself causes some pretty hilarious problems, but we also have the whole will they, won't they brewing relationship, antagonistic relationship for a lot of it between Wes and Vivian. Will they be together by the end of it, or will the dating service find them their own perfect match? It's predictable. Well, it's kind of predictable. I think Wes's approach to this dating service, I keep wanting to call it an app. It's not quite an app. It's actually a website algorithm, or an algorithm website. But I found his approach to this really interesting. Vivian, as a character, I didn't particularly like. I didn't hate her, I didn't detest her, but I just found her a little irritating sometimes, and I thought her attitude wasn't the best. But as the film progressed and her character went on a bit of a development, she became okay. I kind of learned to like her. Wes, played by Christopher Russell, I actually liked from the off. I thought he was great. Morgan Fairchild is also in this. She plays Wes's mother. She's brilliant. She's a great source of comedy in this. I thoroughly enjoyed her performance. With regards to the antics surrounding the dating service, yeah, quite interesting. It doesn't go into too much detail though. There are similar films that look at dating apps and things where you actually get a better understanding of what it's like, and you really feel like the writers of the film have done their research and know how to talk about that kind of app or service. I didn't get that impression here. It didn't bother me too much, but I think they could have done a little bit more research and put a little bit more realism into this film just to make it a bit more believable. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. The colour palettes for this film are beautiful. The lighting is great. It's not hilarious, but it's a rom-com. It's warm and fuzzy. Jodie Sweetin is fantastic. I just wish she'd been in it a little bit more. In fact, I think most of her scenes are inside one house. I could be wrong. There may be another scene, but I'm pretty sure most of her scenes take place inside her own apartment. It's not the most predictable in some ways, but in other ways it is. So there are a few surprises, but ultimately it's safe. My Perfect Romance may not be a perfect film, but if you like this kind of film, and I should point out it was directed by Justin G. Dyck, who directs a lot of brilliant rom-coms, so that name attached to a rom-com, you're getting something at least semi-decent. And for this film, released in 2018, I say not my favourite Justin G. Dyck film, but still one that I'm happy to recommend.